I think at a certain point, when you start wondering if this is the right thing for you, you need to just make the leap.
Hey guys, this is Delisha Ivins, and I'm here on behalf of Mike Street and the No Pants Project. And today I have the awesome pleasure of interviewing Miss Kristin Davis. Kristin, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
No problem. Good to be here.
Now, where are you joining us from, Kristin?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Whoa, that sounds pretty fun. How's the weather up there?
It's actually really, really nice. It's been a little cooler, so it's been nice.
That's awesome. So it's not super muggy and hot then, like it is down here in South Carolina.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your superpower. What is your superpower?
My superpower is that I help small business owners build powerful brands for themselves and to get in front of the right people so that, they can sell their products or services. I do that by helping them build websites, do digital marketing, and blog writing.
Wow, that is a superpower. So you pretty much help them get from starting up or somewhere along that area, or, maybe a little past starting up to creating a solid brand and getting all that set up for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think small business owners need that, extra boost. They're very busy running their business and sometimes neglect the little things like some marketing. So,
right. And I think for a lot of small business owners too, when you're just starting out, you don't have a huge budget, so you can't really hire a full-time marketer or a marketing department to help you do all that stuff. So having, freelancers who offer services like yours and that superpower, that's super beneficial to them, I'm sure.
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty perfect setup for both them and me. So
awesome. So tell me a little bit about freelancing. How are you enjoying it so far?
I love it. It is exactly what I needed. For many, many years, I was working the traditional 9-to-5 job and, didn't get to see my kids very often. And it was just very, very stressful. I really feel like this is what I'm meant to do. I get to make my own hours. I get to, be with my kids. I'm growing my business at my own pace and, making money, but not having to do it, for a weekly paycheck, which is kind of nice.
I hear you. No, I definitely do. And so you were working full-time 9-to-5 before the No Pants Project?
Yep. Working the 9-to-5 and then, sometimes had to work Saturdays or stay late depending on how busy work was. And, it can be very stressful to have to be there when they say to be there. And I have to build, I've got to fit my life around my job. And now it's kind of the opposite. So
I hear you. And just, mom to mom, man, finding really good babysitters on short notice is hard.
Not to mention like half my paycheck was going towards daycare, during summer vacation and everything. So now I get to be home with my kids and, we go on adventures and have fun. And then, every once in a while I go in the other room and get some work done while they, relax or play outside. And it's an incredible setup.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Yay. So tell me about some of the goals you have with freelancing. I know you've kind of recently kicked it off. So how have you already started planning like your 3-month goals, your 1-year goals? What kind of stuff have you got in mind for your new freelancing career?
Well, right now it's just, I've picked up a couple of clients. My biggest goal is I'm actually starting to get back to the No Pants Project and finish it, I actually started getting clients before I even finished the program. So, there's so much valuable information in there. And so I want to keep it kind of slow with my clients right now so that I can really make sure that I bring my A game, once I start bringing more customers.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And, uh, for some of the students in the No Pants project, they already kind of have an idea of like some of the skills they're good at. And so those exercises just really help build the clarity. And then it's been crazy to watch some of the students like you, they're in week 2, they're in week 1 even. Some of them are in
Yeah.
week 3 or 4, and they're like, oh, I just got a new client. And we're like, whoa, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
it's been super fun. So when did you get your first client? What week?
I've had my first client. I'm still working with her actually for about a month, helping her redesign her website and social media marketing and everything like that. So, yeah, it's been going really well. I've got 2 more in the works, so they're keeping me busy.
That's awesome. Well, not too busy. You got to get some kid snuggles in. That's cool
Yes.
there. So tell me what you were doing in your, if it's okay, tell me what you were doing in your 9 to 5 before you started No Pants. What was your kind of job title and what kind of industry were you in there?
I worked for the sign industry. I was a project facilitator. We put in all kinds of signs, interior and exterior signs for a local medical company here. And they were very, very demanding, and it was a huge corporation. So we had a lot of work to do for it. But I enjoyed the work, but it was so very, very, very stressful.
Mm-hmm. No, I can totally understand that. And I mean, sometimes you enjoy the company. It's just the scheduling or something else that kind of conflicts with the lifestyle that you want to live. But I would say from that experience, it sounds like you learned a lot about time management and project management, which you can apply to your
Yeah,
business now.
yeah, absolutely. Being able to work with customers, that was kind of a business to business enterprise. So, that I was able to kind of understand that B2B, but also, yeah, time management, scheduling. There was a lot that I gleaned from it. It was very useful, but like I said, it was very, very stressful. It was physically making me ill. So it was definitely something I needed to get out of.
Right. So did that kind of help you? I mean, that was definitely a motivator um, for looking for something else, looking for another way to make income and to satisfy the needs, like your financial needs, and then also like your lifestyle needs, like wanting to spend time with your kids. Um, so did you kind of already have an idea of what your superpower would be when you saw the No Pants, project, when you saw the ad and you watched the webinar? Did you already kind of know like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do?
I thought I did. I really, really enjoy writing. I know that I wanted to be a writer, but I actually have my degree in marketing and public relations. So I thought that I was going to be a writer, maybe do copywriting. But as I made my way through the program and, really started to figure out what my passion was and what skills I had that I could use to help other people, it started to kind of fall into place that I'm definitely more useful in the marketing aspect of things. So I definitely learned something about myself even through it. So.
And that's not to say you can't come back to copywriting later. I mean, you're doing a website right now, so it's web
Mhm.
copy. So
Sure.
you can
Yep.
still like learn phases of it even as you're helping your clients, which is really
Mhm.
cool.
Well,
So
and I'm hoping too that I can kind of do what Mike does. I would like to write a book. Um, and with freelancing, it's giving me a lot more free time. So I'm hoping that, once I get things up and running a little bit more, I'm going to be able to have the opportunity to work on writing a book.
nice. That'll be awesome. Are you thinking like fiction, nonfiction, children's book, illustrated?
Fiction. I'm definitely a fantasy writer. So
Awesome. See, I'm like we discussed the same thing, and I was like, I'm gonna write a book about waffles, like totally kids book.
there you go. Love it.
So how is your confidence going into the No Pants project? I mean, you already kind of had a background with a little bit of marketing, and then you have your degree in marketing, but you know you're going in and thinking, oh, I want to write. So was there like a conflict there? Did you have full confidence going in, or was that kind of a little shaky? Tell me a little bit about that.
I was very nervous. Um, taking that leap was very, very scary. I knew I wanted to do something different for my life, but change is always scary. But I decided that I really needed to make more of an investment in my future, and I needed to just stop just sitting put and hoping things got better. So honestly, once I started chatting with some of the coaches and some of the other people in the No Pants project, I started to feel a little bit more confident, like this might work. This might actually work for me. So
Oh, that's awesome. And so you were working full time and doing 9 to 5, and you now have how many clients now?
I have 3 clients now.
3.
Mhm.
So just out of curiosity, and you can feel free to not answer this and we can edit it later, but have you replaced the income from your job yet with the 3 clients? Are you close to that?
I think I'm very close to replacing it. I'm not quite there yet. Like I said, I'm kind of taking things a little bit slow, especially with the summer break and having all 3 of my kids home.
Right.
I anticipate that once school gets started, I'm going to be able to really kind of amp things up. And I foresee not only replacing my full-time income, but exceeding it probably by this fall.
That's awesome. And doing it on your schedule, which is like my favorite. That's my super
Yes.
favorite. So, how long or what week were you on in the No Pants project before you got your first client? I know you said you haven't finished it yet. So, what week were you on in the program?
I was on week 2. I, I didn't make it very far. I was able to establish what my superpower was,
Hmm.
which was ideal because it allowed me to know what I could offer my clients. And then, it just started working out where I was going to be able to start getting my hands dirty before I even finished the course.
That's awesome. So, was that a struggle for you? Like you hadn't really even gone through the whole course yet, and here it is, week 2. You're 2 weeks into a 12-week program, and you already have a client. Now you're like I know some people when they have that hit, they're like deer in headlights. So is that any kind of struggle for you, or you were just like, no, I got this. I just worked through some 2 weeks. I'm all good to go.
I was definitely the deer in the headlights. I was very nervous about how I was going to proceed. But I asked some questions in the community, and I watched multiple videos. I went through the Mike's Fast Client Getting workshop, just trying to get some tips and pointers. And I will probably run through that program again this fall. Just it was really, really incredible and really valuable as far as what I could do right now, and then I can kind of keep plugging away at the program also. So biggest thing for me though was I was able to ask the community. I was able to ask questions in the Q&As throughout the week, and it really kind of pointed me in the right direction, and I didn't feel like I was doing it alone, which is what made the big difference for me.
I think that's a big difference for a lot of people. I know, like, one of my motivators for signing up for the No Pants Project is when I looked at, I mean, you start looking at like one coaching, you attend one webinar, and all of a sudden your Facebook feed is like 8, 10 different coaches every day. Come to my webinar. And so I probably watched a billion webinars. I feel like it was a really long time. But the No Pants Project was the only one that offered like this Facebook group and coaches and all this stuff. And I was like, no, that's the one I want. I don't want to just learn like a technical skill and then feel like I know it and then go try it and then feel totally lost and be like, oh, what step did I skip? What did I mess up on? So for me, the community like has been invaluable. So I'm super glad to hear that it's been helpful for you too. And for those of you watching too, Kristin mentioned the Fast Client Getting Workshop. So the Fast Client Getting Workshop is actually a separate program that Mike created, but when you buy the No Pants Project, you get that included with it. So the Fast Client Getting Workshop is what it says it is. It is a way to get clients fast. And so when you buy the No Pants Project, you'll get the No Pants Project, which teaches you how to build a sustainable freelancing business in 90 days. And then you also get access to the Fast Client Getting Workshop to get some clients kind of under your belt so you can start working with them quickly so that you can learn new skills and start applying some of the techniques you learn in the No Pants Project with those new clients, which is really cool. So Kristin, you kind of identified, the struggle of like, okay, I have a client, now what? Like I've got to learn all this and apply all this and figure it out really quick. What about some of the high points? Like, were there high points of the program when you were like, you had like maybe an epiphany moment where you're like, oh, or something just clicked, or you had like this big win? Tell me about that.
Definitely a couple of light bulbs would go off, within the program as I'm, watching my videos and doing my homework sheets and everything. I will be, enlightened, be like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense, or I can use this tomorrow. But I would say probably the biggest highlight, the biggest time that it really felt like, oh, this is real, this is really happening, is when I got my first payment. And I got the notification on my phone that, you've been paid. I'm like, oh, this is real. This is really going to happen. This is really working. And, I feel like I'm finally on the right track.
That's awesome. I think I was telling somebody in an interview once, I was like, I really wish like the banking app that I use or the invoicing app that I use, that they had like a little app notification sound. I just want to be walking down the street and I just want to be like going into the mall and hear ka-ching and be like,
right.
It would make me so happy.
I got an email and the email alert came up on my phone saying that. So I was like, yay.
Do like a little mini victory dance, hanging
Absolutely.
out on the sidewalk. So how do you feel about your future now? Like you've got some business building skills and you're not only building your business, but you're using those same skill sets to build other small businesses. What's kind of your outlook on, what the future looks like for you now?
Things are definitely looking good. I'm kind of slowly but surely building my work schedule so that it fits me, fits my life, and I'll work for future clients. But my family is super proud of what I'm doing. They're very, very supportive of everything that I'm doing. So, I'm going to be able to keep building my business. And like you said, there's so many skills that I'm learning through this process that will help me build my business, but I can actually turn right around and I can offer to my clients as, a skill set that will help them with their business. So I'm definitely solidly on my way to not have to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. So I think that's a pretty bright future.
That is awesome. No, I'm with you. Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. So tell me, for those who are watching and they're looking at the No Pants Project, do you have any like really super cool breakthroughs or like a really fun tactic or strategy you would like to share with them? Like maybe time management or something fun that you do to kind of help you get things done or help you plan? What are some of the cool things that you use in your day-to-day biz?
I definitely needed a lot of help with time management. Being home and not having a boss looming over my shoulder gave me a little bit too much freedom at first. I think that the biggest thing for me was learning to set a schedule for myself. I actually went through and I scheduled my entire week. It included, break times for myself, times to, take the kids to the park or to a sports event or something. But sticking to that schedule has been really, really important for me. And, being able to keep myself from distractions. I even downloaded an app on my phone that makes it so that I can't fiddle around with games or check Facebook or something like that.
What
So
app is that? Let somebody in on it.
it's called Forest.
Ooh.
So you open up the app and you set a timer for yourself. I usually do it in like 30-minute increments. So I'll set the timer for 30 minutes and I plant a tree. And my tree will grow over the next 30 minutes. If I open another app or exit out of that app during that 30 minutes, my tree dies. And I like trees.
That's so sad.
So, but if you make it the full 30 minutes, your tree grows and you add to your forest. So having that kind of visual timer is really good for me. Sometimes I'll even pick up my phone and it'll actually say, your tree's growing, put your phone down.
Nice.
And so within that 30 minutes, I just focus on my work. I give myself a specific task, and that is what I address during that 30 minutes. Once my timer goes off, I get up, go get a cup of coffee, go chill with my kids for 5-10 minutes, and then I come back, I reset my timer, I plant another tree, and I tackle my work again. It's been really helpful.
I like it. I like it a lot. It sounds kind of like I'm going to say it wrong, Pomodoro method.
Pomodoro, yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
Mike talk about that before, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is along those lines. I think it's just a fun timer app. Like, I know he talks about using a timer and just kind of picking that task during that time. But the timer for me is helpful. It gives me kind of a visual and makes me feel bad if I kill my little baby tree. So
Yeah, and it keeps you from like playing with your phone, which is super
yes.
easy. Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's very tempting sometimes. So having that, it just shuts it down, makes it no longer an option. And, I focus. And then after the 30 minutes, if I need to get on Facebook, I'll quick, check something for a couple of minutes, put it back on, my timer, and then get back to work again. So
I like it. I like it a lot. There's probably going to be like a lot of people looking for that app after this interview.
right. Yeah. It's a great app. It's fun. It's really simple, but it's useful.
There we go. So, what parting words of wisdom would you give for those who are looking to get into freelancing or considering making a transition from full-time job into freelancing, especially for those of us who are mamas? Like, what would you say, to the ladies out there who are trying to figure out if they can make this work for them?
I think at a certain point, when you start wondering if this is the right thing for you, you need to just make the leap. It can be really, really scary, but it works. You can make it work. I am a work from home mom with 3 kids, and I thought there was no way that I could do this and focus on my work and feel like a good mom to my kids. But it really does work, and my kids are super excited to have me home. We're able to go to the parks or museums and things like that just for fun in between things. And then, once school gets back up and running, I know I can go to the school events. As a mom, being able to participate in my kids' life has always been one of my priorities, and work has always gotten in the way of that. And I work to provide a good life for my kids, and working was taking away from my kids. So if you're thinking about taking this leap and you feel like you're not able to be the mom that you want to be working a 9 to 5, I would say just do it. Things work out. you've got to put the work in for sure. It's not easy, but it's fun and super rewarding.
I love it. I love it so much. Yay. Oh, Kristen, well, I know you probably have a billion things on your schedule, and I know you've got some babies to go snuggle. So thank you for taking some time out of your morning this morning to come hang out with us and tell us about your journey and how things are going for you. Um, it's been really awesome having you on board, and I hope to see you in the Facebook group sometime this week and share some more fun success stories and wins.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It was nice chatting with you.
Oh, you too. Well, you have a great morning. Thanks.
You too.